Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here because today we're talking about knitted shawls. They are such a versatile item and you can make different shaped shawls like triangle shapes or rectangle or crescent shapes, and you can change the sizing pretty easily. And they also make great gifts. All of these are totally free on Ravelry and all the links to the patterns are in the description below. First up, we have the Gift Wrap by Christy Houghton. You'll need 1,000 yards of fingering weight yarn. What's interesting about this shawl is that it's a repeat of a section of garter stitch and then a row of bobbles. And the designer used several mini skeins for this project and says it'll go well with advent knitting too. Definitely the kind of pattern to keep in mind if you have some colorful yarn to use up. Number 2 is Fa La La Fade by Beata Jezik. You'll need about 2,000 yards of fingering weight yarn held double, so a DK weight yarn would work too. And this is a generously sized crescent shaped shawl, and it's a pattern where the designer uses multiple different colors, so it's a great project to get creative with your yarn. Next up is Whitecaps Wrap by Yigitkan Vatan Sever. I'm probably not saying that right, I'm so sorry. This design uses 1,300 yards of DK weight yarn. This pattern has a lot of visual interest created with a brioche stitch. It looks fairly intricate, and brioche is on my knitting skill wish list, and one of these days I'm going to knit a project in brioche. I wonder if it's as hard as it looks. Leave a comment if you think it's as hard as it looks or if it's easier than it looks. Number 4, Reyna by Nora Backlund. This triangle shawl uses less than 500 yards of fingering weight yarn to make a lovely lace shawl. Reyna's definitely on my knitting to-do list. It has been for quite a while, and I saw some projects of it using a color-changing yarn. I think it was Lion Brand Mandala, and oh my gosh, I want to get started on this right away. Number 5, Mara by Audrey Borrego. A small kerchief that uses less than 500 yards of fingering weight yarn. It sounds like the perfect project for that singular skein of sock yarn, maybe that beautifully soft yarn you've been saving. Next up, Pirouette Shawl by Pearl Soho. I love Pearl Soho patterns. They're always so beautifully photographed and well written, and there's also a number of free patterns on their website. But this one uses about 1,400 yards of fingering weight yarn, and it's a colorful diamond-shaped shawl with a really interesting construction. It's worked by picking up and joining triangles as you go, so it's actually all worked in one piece, and I thought that was very intriguing. Number 7, Naughty or Nice Calendar by Samantha Van Noy. It's a large rectangle, it's a stole. It's another Advent type knitting project that makes great use of colorful mini skeins. It also changes the stitch pattern with each section. So it's going to be something that keeps you interested and having to pay attention as you knit. Number 8, Stormy Sky Shawl by Senia Nadion. This is a triangle shawl that uses 550 yards of fingering weight yarn. It has an alternating sections of garter and lace eyelets. And from what I remember, it was a fairly quick knitting project, so it's definitely another great one for gift knitting. Number 9 is The Age of Brass and Steam Kerchief by Orange Flower Yarn. This is a triangle-shaped kerchief that uses less than 400 yards of DK weight yarn, so very doable for gift knitting. And this is one of those projects that really you could use other weights of yarn to make this project. Number 10 is the Texture and Twist Shawl by Robbie Laughlin. This one, while it looks not to be too difficult, it does look quite striking. It's an asymmetrical shawl with a lovely textured look, and it uses 750 yards of fingering weight yarn. I hope you enjoyed these 10 knitted shawls that again are totally free on Ravelry. Find the links below, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.